Hello you guys, and welcome to today's video. I'm pretty excited. So after I got my haircut and I saw my brother for the first time, I was wearing it in like a little half up, like little top knot, like a little bun. And he goes, you know, like your new haircut kind of makes you look like Jon Snow. I just kind of sat there and I didn't know how to react. And then I was like, you know what? I'll take that as a compliment. Like, thank you. Thank you. I just like didn't know, because like he called me a dude, but like if it's Jon Snow, I'm fine with it. My boyfriend is such a loser. So for this video, what I think I'm gonna do is kind of like my ultimate glowy ass skin. And I know the first video that I ever posted was kind of like a dewy skin look. But I've changed a couple of things since that video, and also it was a while ago, and second of all, or I don't know, this is like the fucking third point. I need to watch your mouth, wow. But that video was a while ago. I've also changed up a couple techniques, and I feel like in this video I'll share a little bit more of like tips and tricks, especially for achieving glowy skin in the summer, because it's really easy to do it like too much. Because obviously in the summer, like you're a little bit more sweaty and like your skin produces a lot more natural oils. So these are some tricks that I have to make sure that your glowy skin looks good and not like you're a greasy sweat ball. Alright, so whenever I want to achieve a super just like healthy looking skin that's like overly dewy and wet looking, which I love so much, I reach for this primer a lot. This is the Becca Backlighting Filter Primer. I've talked about it quite a few times. It just makes your skin have a nice like radiant look to it. I sprayed it out of control. Nice, Katie. I'm gonna really put this just like in the outer perimeters of my face. All on my cheeks. My forehead's fine. And then whatever's left of my fingers, I'm just gonna quickly run it over, but I'm not gonna focus a lot of the product in those areas. So just whatever's left. Alright, so now to move on to foundation. You guys know that I always use two foundations. It's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles over here. So I'm going to use two foundations today, but I'm not going to mix them together because I want to utilize them for different things. So in my T-zone, like where I get oily, I'm going to put that foundation all in the center, and then with the other foundation, I'm going to go on around the perimeters of my face. This has really helped for me because in the center, I'm going to go with L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. I forgot how much I love this foundation. Like, it is shocking how matte it keeps your face. I feel like I'm yelling. If I'm yelling at you and scaring you, I'm so sorry. And then on the outside, which one? Maybelline today. That was a tough choice though. I love them both. So I found my old beauty blender, like the beauty blender, and I kind of want to use it today. I forgot like what it's like, but I'm scared that I'm not gonna like it as much as my Morphe one. And in case any of you guys are curious, in the L'Oreal Infallible, I use shade 102, and Maybelline Matte and Poreless, I'm using the shade 125. Okay, first of all, the Beauty Blender sucks up a lot more product than I remember it. Like, it really kind of steals your product compared to the Morphe one. It's not like a huge deal, but like in the long run, it is stealing more of your foundation than the other sponge. And this sponge is $20 and this one's $6. But the sponge does feel really good on your face. It's super, super soft. All right, so now on the rest of my face, I'm just gonna go all in with the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. The Beauty Blender is a lot smaller than I remember it being. Like my Morphe sponge just seems like a monster compared to it. So a little while back, I went on a family camping trip with my fam, and it was so much fun. But on the car ride up north, my mom got me really hooked on the podcast Serial. Super late to the game. Like, everybody has been talking about Serial for like years, but I just like never listened to it. Even though it was like right up my alley, but like I never knew when to listen to podcasts. Like, when does one have time to sit down and not watch it, but you just have to listen to it? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, stare at a wall and listen to it? Like, I never knew when to listen to a podcast. But she made me listen to it on the way up north, and I was hooked. Like, it was so good. I've always been like a crime nerd and like mysteries, like that's just the way I roll. But I'm listening to one right now that's called Up and Vanished. Oh, you guys, It is so sketchy. It's about this girl who disappeared. I think she like lived in Georgia. I don't remember the name of the city, but her name's Tara something. And she used to be like this beauty pageant star. And then she was a teacher in this town and she was super well known and then like literally just disappears. Like she left this barbecue one night and then nobody ever saw her again. Seems like the cops are in on it. It seems like she was low-key kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on, but it's so interesting. So if you want a good podcast to listen to, Up and Vanished. It's really good. That was so random. So because I'm doing this like glowy look, like I said, I like to minimize the amount of powder that I put on my face. Therefore, I'm gonna do a little bit of like a cream contour, cream bronzer type situation. This is a Bobbi Brown stick foundation actually, and it's in a shade that's obviously not my skin color. So that's like a little trick because a lot of cream contouring stuff comes in palettes and you don't want to like buy a full palette. They're expensive. This foundation stick specifically is pretty expensive, but you can do this technique with a lot of different things. Like I used to do this. I used to buy Maybelline Fit Me concealer from the drugstore for like $8 and I would buy it in a darker skin tone color and then you just like paint it on your face with the concealer stick and then buff it out with like a beauty blender or a brush. But that's just a little secret if you're looking into cream contouring and cream bronzing and you don't want to like go buy a really expensive kit or anything. Use a foundation stick or use a concealer that is a darker skin tone. All right, so I just draw a line. I haven't used this in a while. Like that's thick and dark. That's what she said. But I start out with the smallest amount. Like that is gonna blend out crazily. I'm gonna go in with my normal cream contour brush. This is the Morphe M437. And so when you're doing cream contour, you don't really want to like disturb the product underneath it that much. So I use just like little like patting motions. You really want to keep the product in the place that it's in and just kind of move it around as softly as possible. I like to go in with a brush first just to get it all spread out where I want it to be. And then I'll go back in with my beauty blender because it's wet and it kind of helps soak in the product and blend it all together a little bit better. But I like going with a brush first because it's easier to move the product around. And you want to be sure not to move the product up and down too much because then you're going to lose that contour shape and then also it's going to look really muddy and kind of everywhere. So you really just want to think about going side to side and keeping the product where it is, but just trying to blend it and push it in. I just love the way it looks. I don't know. Also, you really want to make sure you take this like into your ear, as weird as that is. Don't want it to be like a super like tan and white by your ear. This one you can kind of rub around a little bit more. It doesn't need to be as precise as it was on your cheeks. I am going to add a little bit more on my cheeks just to add a little bit more color and structure. My beauty blender is getting a little bit dry and this will also just help it last longer. I'm gonna take a little bit of my setting spray quick and just spray the butt of this. So now it's wet and it's with setting spray, so it's really like lock it in. Oh my god, I just got setting spray in my eye. So now you can just see like how much warmer my skin looks. And it looks so like natural. I can't say natural because it's just not at all. But since there's not any powder on it, it looks like really good. My camera was getting too hot, so it shut off. So I just filled in my eyebrows really quick. I just realized now that I forgot to put on concealer, but my under eyes look pretty good. But really quick, I'm just gonna add a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape. Shocker. I'm gonna take the shade Light Medium Honey and I'm just gonna go right here. So now this next part is gonna be the part that like really like brings on the glow. I recently got this product after waiting for so long to buy it because I was just trying to be like, you don't need it, you're fine, you'll survive. There's alternatives from the drugstore, you don't need it. I caved in and I bought it. Nothing new here. These are the Marc Jacobs Dew You Drops. I've messed around with these a couple of times and I have a couple things to say. They are beautiful. Like the finish it gives you makes your skin look so wet, but it's reflective without making it look like there's a lot of stuff on your skin. However, the only issue that I have come across with these is when I layer it up on foundation, which you're supposed to be able to do, like I've done a bunch of research on these, you're supposed to be able to put it on after, like a liquid highlight. The problem that I have been facing though is sometimes it like lifts up my foundation, like it disturbs the product underneath it. So I don't know, I've been trying different ways to try to help that situation, and I think the best thing that I have figured out is to try to minimize the product underneath it. But the most important thing that you can do for sure is to not have any powder on your face yet. The first time I tried these, I had a little bit of powder kind of like right here. Like I didn't put it everywhere, I just had it like right around here, and it really got janky. So first what I have been doing is I've been dabbing it around with my finger. So I take a little bit on my finger, and then I put that directly on my cheek where I want it. So I have a nice like little even light layer spread out, and I don't just go in with goops of it. Now I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and just push this in. Yeah, that certainly helps so much more. I think before I was just going in with too much product at a time, and it was really disturbing it underneath. So I'm just gonna like slowly start building this up little by little. The color of it is like perfect. I'm not gonna put any of this liquid highlight on my nose just cause I don't want that to get too oily looking. I'm just gonna go in with my RCMA powder in this little brush, and I'm going to put the smallest bit of powder. Like I'm really going to limit the amount of powder that's on my face, but I just wanna hit those points that do get oily. And if you limit those points that get oily naturally and you keep those points of your face matte, then the overall look of your like glowy face is gonna look so much better, but it needs to have that balance in order to work. You also need to be careful that you didn't put too much powder up here because you don't want to cover that highlight that you just did. So now that that is all good, I'm going to go in with a little bit of powder bronzer just to set down the rest of my face. However, it's actually not feeling that tacky, which is really good. I hate when my foundation feels really sticky and tacky because I just feel like it's gonna move around. But since I'm going with this insanely dewy, glowy look, I'm gonna go in with this stuff, and I haven't used this in forever. This is by the brand Laura Geller, and it is their Baked Body Frosting Tahitian Glow All Over Face and Body Glow. This is a very shimmery bronzer, and I used to put this all over my face, which is just disgusting thinking about that now. Like why did I ever think it was okay to put a shimmery bronzer all over my face? I do not know. But now that I know how to use makeup products a little bit better and know how to use this product better, I really love it. It gives the most beautiful tan bronze glow to the face. I love it. You really want to make sure that you put this product on with a really like loose, fluffy brush that won't pack it on. You don't want this to pack. It wants to be like the lightest swoop over the face. So I don't know if the camera is picking up on it well, but like it just, I look so tan, just sun-kissed. I look like the sun reached down from the sky and kissed my cheeks. That stuff is truly beautiful. When I do a really like bronzed-ish look, what I like to do to help counterbalance that is use a really pretty light pink blush. So I'm gonna go in with this cute little Becca blush that I love because this one has such a pretty sheen to it. This is in the shade Flower Child, because using a pink blush just kind of brings like some life back to your face and some like natural color. All right, so now the last thing is to top off that Marc Jacobs highlight with some more highlight. You don't have to, but I just think this is the final step to make it pop, make your whole skin look so dewy and magical. And of course my lighting goes away now. Are you kidding me? And so to do that, I'm gonna use my Maybelline eyeshadow. We've talked about this. This is the Expert Eyewear in the shade The Glow Down. I was so focused during all that. This just helps it not sit on top of the face as much and just kind of blend in with your skin. Last and final step is you obviously want all of this hard work that you just put down to last all day. So for me, a key step is obviously setting spray. Urban Decay All Nighter is going all over my face. All right, you guys, so this is the finished face look right here after I get my hair away from eating my face. So this is what it looks like. I just think it's so pretty, so tan, so glowy. I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup. I'm 90% sure I'm gonna film an eyeshadow look right now and put that in another video, but I love it. I just think it's so pretty. I hope you all love glowy skin like I do and some bronzeness, especially for all the pale homies out there that like to pretend we're tan, but we're really not. The L'Oreal Pro Matte does so well. It just makes your pores look so small too. Like I have massive pores and it just makes my face look so like smooth and just like filtered. Like it looks like my face is wearing a filter, which who doesn't want that, honestly? So that is it for today's video. I hope you found this helpful for you guys and a couple little tips and tricks that you can try out for yourself and you really find out what works best for you. I know these were a lot of steps and this is just what I like to do to look extra and national. What was I even trying to say? If you liked today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, if you guys have any recommendations for any videos or any makeup looks or any things you want to see, let me know. I'd be happy to do it. Also, I kind of want to start doing favorites videos, but I'm not sure if people care enough to like know what my favorite products are. Yeah, let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing because I kind of want to start doing it. Especially going into the fall, because I feel like in the fall, my whole makeup game like switches a little bit, so let me know if you guys want to see that. All right, I need to leave. So I'll see you guys very shortly. Enjoy the rest of your days and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye guys.